A very good evening again, viewers, and thank you for tuning into the NILEcast on your West Nile television. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines tonight. Different representatives from the different minority ethnic groups, together with other stakeholders such as cultural leaders and district and city leaders, among others, gathered for a dialogue demanding for equal opportunities under the umbrella of Equal Opportunities Commission. Take a look.
Because of the overwhelming grievances some of the minority ethnic groups in West Nile region such as Lendu, Kebo, Gimara, Nubi among others continues to encounter, different representatives of different minority ethnic groups together with other stakeholders such as cultural leaders, district and city leaders, special interest groups among others gathered for a dialogue demanding for equal opportunities under the umbrella of Equal Opportunities Commission. Babire Petwa, Principal Education Officer, Equal Opportunities Commission, says they will now engage every stakeholder to see that their issues are taken into consideration.
Now that we have done it today, we commit to take up the upper hand, to push policy, laws, and influence every stakeholder where their issues belong, so that when they are planning and budgeting and allocating resources, their issues are addressed. For not any other reason, but for purposes for them to be able to participate and benefit from the development agenda.
Meanwhile, some of the minority ethnic group representatives pleads for their voices to be heard in Parliament through equal representation for their issues to be addressed.
If there is no representation in the Parliament, how can our voices be heard in the right way, really? Therefore, I call upon you members, the time has come, let's rise up. What I will really advocate for is, through you, let each community, especially each tribe under the marginalized group, let each person be given that hope, at least one person, to go and represent the tribe, really. That's our play. Because if that is not done, our people are not going to have the justice, our people are not going to have the equal rights we are advocating for.
We need the equal representation in Parliament, especially if not for Kabo, maybe jointly the indigenous minority group have at least a representation in Parliament. We also demand for the recognition of Kabo cultural institution, also called this Kabo Ridang. We demand to be recognized as inhabitants of Zombo district, Nebi district, and the Pakwat district. We cannot live in air, but we live, even if we live in air, the air will still be in Pakwat and Zombo. We also demand for equal distribution of government support, including programs which should also be directed to be given to MIGs.
Honorable Wadisa Munyakwa, Mayor Arua City urges the minority ethnic groups to educate their children and impress household income, which will help to overcome some of their grievances.
Education is light. Education exposes you or your children to the external world. You have opportunity to have linkages and networking at a wider horizon. If you educate your children, you get properly rooted. Because those children who are educated will have opportunity to work with government, they will have opportunity to work with the NGO, education, household income. This is what the president is fighting, to lift the 39% of Ugandans who are still in abject poverty out. So, you do something, get some money. It may not be so big, but however little that is yours. Now, if you have money, sending children to school will be easy. If you have money, attending to your health issues will be easy.
Karon Lili Oganda, Chairman West Nile Indigenous Minority Group, urges Equal Opportunities Commission to take into consideration all the issues that have been raised.
It is not only one cultural group that has mentioned it, all of them have mentioned the issue of marginalization, and I ask you
if opportunity to take this very seriously. Suppression by the majority tribes is a very big issue. There was animal that came to destroy, even it killed the people in Obogi. And they were saying, what person? I think 2 people were killed, 2 or 3 people were killed. And I think it was a hippo. Yes, a hippo. And they said, unless 10 people are killed, they will not take any action. You see that means they value animals more than what? Human beings.
Equal Opportunities Commission is a body established by an Act of Parliament to eliminate discrimination and inequalities against any individual or as a group of person. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
Moving on in our stories this evening, over 200 students from the secondary schools in Maracha district were passed out on the 5th of October 2024 after being selected and vetted to undergo the patriotism training course. Take a look.
The joint pass-out of the students on Saturday, 5th of October 2024 was done after they went through 1 week rigorous training conducted by Patriotism Club and the Uganda Police Force. The head teacher for Marasa Domestic Secondary School, Mr. Maguleto, challenged the students, government officials and the general public to abide by the norms and values of patriotism in order for us to achieve the Uganda we want.
Unless we commit ourselves to take this very seriously, we shall lag behind. Unless we all accept to carry the mantle in order to achieve this, Uganda will lag behind. It is on this basis that, as Marasa Domestic, we feel that these values must be taken as a matter of importance, so that whatever we do at school level, at district level, aims at achieving national unity, peace and development.
District Police Commander for Marsa District, SP Joshua Kananura, who spearheaded the training, acknowledged there were some few weaknesses with the trainees, but in days to come, they will be perfect.
I must sincerely thank the participants of this afternoon that it has been well. It has been well with few mistakes which can be corrected given time. And we pray by Independence celebration we shall be better and we will exhibit better parade, better attribute of patriotism, and there we shall be good to go for the safety of our country.
Based on the patriotism training around Uganda, which in most cases is offered mainly using Kiswahili language, henceforth greatly affecting those who don't know the language, the Oleba Seed Secondary School head teacher Mr. Oka Romano, who also doubles as the chairperson for Association of Secondary Schools Head Teachers Union in Marta District, appealed to the government to recruit Kiswahili language teachers so that most pupils and students who are selected for the patriotism program do not lag behind because of language barrier.
Guests of honor, the DPC was saying there were a few errors. I want to say these errors are attributed to Kiswahili. But at DPC and your team, most of ours, not most, but all our schools don't have Kiswahili teachers. The current curriculum has it as one of the compulsory subjects. May I humbly request your office to add your voice, to have a deliberate effort to recruit Kiswahili teachers for our schools. We shall be very grateful if you can discuss this at your forum of the other DCs.
With the recent history of strikes and interfightings amongst students of secondary schools in Marsa District and West Nile region as well, the coordinator for Marsa District Patriotism Club, Mr. Etega Joseph, is optimistic that the pursuit of some of these students is a one step towards achieving peace, love and unity amongst the students and schools.
We are here fulfilling the constitutional obligation. We all know that in our constitution, we are supposed to be patriotic. That's why we are here. We have been facing the challenge of there are still people who think patriotism is partisan. Patriotism is not about NRM. It is only NRM government that started it.
You are supposed to love your country. We are supposed to love one another. We want to inculcate unity so that our students stay in harmony. It is my conviction that this joint pass out is a step forward towards unity amongst the schools.
The Marsa District Deputy RDC Koleva Monica Kotevu appealed for wider mobilization and engagement of the students and stakeholders in next year's training segment so that there can be an answer and question session on core values of patriotism.
All those who participated in the orientation meetings in the schools, the 1 week program that we had in all the schools, we pray that next time we shall have resources so that we bring all the learners together and we give them the orientation, ideological orientation in one location so that they are able to ask questions and we respond there and then together. So this is yet the beginning. We hope for the best.
Guest of honor at the pass-out ceremony, Haji Ramadan Walugembe, who doubles as the RDC for Marsa District, cautioned some of the head teachers in the district for frustrating the patriotism program by misinterpreting it as a campaign gimmick by the ruling NRM government.
Some of the head teachers think that this is politics, that we are campaigning, and for them, they don't support the government, so they cannot participate. That's what they think.
While urging opposition members and supporters to abandon politics of hatred and disunity, the guest of honor rallied them to benefit from government programs.
Why he has said, he's saying what? Wasting a lot of people's time. People waste a lot of time, Rumamongari. Tell those friends of ours to come, let them come and benefit from government, and as they wait for their government to do what? To come. They know when it will come, whether it will come after 80 years, it is up to them. But they will grow old for nothing, cursing every morning. You get it? You people of media, tell them, you have. But when we tell them, you don't want to view what we tell them. That's what I've said, you are going to delete.
National Patriotism Club Uganda, whose core values are to encompass not only understanding of Uganda's history, culture and values, but also practical skills development and community engagement, is an entity created in 2009 by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Officials in Marsa District concluded Saturday's ceremony with tree planting to avert climate change and to mark the date historical. Yusuf Osuta, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. During the burial of a senior police officer, the late ASP James Jakerenga, in Abanga Sub-County, Zombo District, the resident District Commissioner for Zombo District sounded a stern warning to farmers who sell their produce directly from the garden. Alfred Jawok reports.
Zombo Resident District Commissioner Festus Aikoboa has issued a robust warning to farmers found selling their produce direct from the garden. The RDC sounded this warning on 7th October this year during the burial of a senior police officer, ASP James Jakerenga, in Pakada Ime, Abanga Sub-County, Zombo District. According to Aikoboa, there is a growing number of middlemen who have invaded Zombo District, buying farm produce direct from the farmers at their own set prices.
When we grow food crop, we want you to make money. What me as an RDC I will not encourage is you selling your crops direct from the farm. I've seen many trucks of Kenya getting avocados right from the garden. That's not how we are going to make money. That's not how we are going to make money. We are not going to allow you sell your crops right from the garden. By that, you are not going to really save value for money for what you are producing. So my humble appeal is we have markets all over our district. Whatever you have produced, let's take these things to the market so that you are not going to be cheated. We do not want really you to remain poor and poor when you are doing a lot of work in gardens, and you are not seeing any income coming to support the family.
The most affected areas are Abanga, Nyapea, Jangokoro sub-counties, respectively. This highlights the risk and consequences and promotes market channels and cooperation as a safer and more stable alternative. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving on in our stories, Deo Biopharma is expected to start exporting drugs from Uganda before the end of this year. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Monsenero, made this revelation during her appearance before the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurance. Take a look.
Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Monsenero has revealed that DEI Biopharma is expected to start exporting drugs from Uganda before the end of this year. She made the revelation during her appearance before the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurance. Monsenero, who was giving an update on her ministry's commitments to the Ugandan people, mentioned that the pharmaceutical company has already received over 723 billion Ugandan shillings in taxpayer funding for its establishment. Recently, the government allocated 723 billion Ugandan shillings to DEI Biopharma Limited, a private pharmaceutical company located in Matuga, Wakiso district. Once completed, DEI Biopharma, which spans 150 acres, will be Uganda's first research-focused biotechnology and pharmaceuticals company. The establishment is overseen by Chairman Dr. Patrick Wakida and Managing Director Dr. Matthias Magola, along with their team including board pharmacist Dr. Arthur Kayanya. Additionally, Monsenero informed the committee that Uganda has generated 7.3 billion Ugandan shillings from the sale of diagnostic kits to Mulago National Referral Hospital and internationally. Ugandan scientists began producing the kits during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Masi Draru, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
It is the week of international break. I mean, most of the players are going to represent their countries as far as qualifiers for AFCON, World Cup, so many things, and also in Europe, UEFA Nations League, and also in South America. I can confirm to you there shall also be games. That's the reason as to why I am saying it's actually the week for international break, and this international break will continue till next week, I should say in the mid of next week. My name is Orak Benson Pastore. This is the usual program called the Nilecast, which is under the biggest of it called the Nilecast News. But what I'm coming for is what we call Nilecast Sports. I can confirm to you before we talk about any European story, let's first take a look at what is happening within the country of Uganda. As usual, we start with the local scenes before we also jet abroad to talk about international stories. And over the weekend and also yesterday, games were played in under 20 AFCON qualifiers, and Uganda had engagement with Ethiopia and they had a convincing win whereby the Hippos, by the way, the teenage team of Uganda is called the Hippos. I mean the under 20 national team of Uganda Hippos, they managed to beat Ethiopia by 3-0. Meanwhile, also Burundi were a 0-0 winners over South Sudan. Then on Sunday, these games were played yesterday. Then on Sunday, 3 games were also played. Sudan were 3-1 winners over Djibouti. Meanwhile, for Tanzania, They were actually beaten by Kenya by 2-1. I want to repeat it again. These are CECAFA regional qualifiers. That means the countries that are going to perform very well, of course, will proceed to represent the region of East Africa in the real tournament called the Under-20 Total African Cup of Nations. Let's wait and see if our own, that's Uganda Hippos, shall be in position to proceed to the real tournament called AFCON Under-20. Let's leave that one there. As I continue to say, UEFA Champions League is not only for men. I can also confirm to you there is a Champions League also for women. And today, their game set to be played in Group A and in Group B. In Group A, Lyon is set to entertain Galatasaray. Meanwhile, AS Roma welcomes Wolfsburg. Then in Group B, Celtic up against FC 20. And the biggest clash will actually be between Chelsea and Real Madrid. Meanwhile, Champions League shall also return tomorrow with Group C, seeing Bayern Munich welcoming Arsenal. For Juventus, they will have to take a trip to Vålerenga. And then in Group D, Hammarby, that comes from Sweden, will take on St. Pölten, that comes from Austria. For Barcelona, they are set to lock horns with Manchester City. Before we talk about some of the games set to come in UEFA Nations League, there is a breaking story here. I can confirm to you bad news for Manchester United fans. As I can confirm to you, Harry Maguire is going to be out for some few weeks. He sustained the injury when they were actually playing Aston Villa. That means Lee Carsley has left him out of the squad that will be playing Greece and Finland in UEFA Nations League. And that one takes us straight away to the other game set to be played in UEFA Nations League on Thursday, with Moldova set to entertain Andorra. Meanwhile, for Greece, they will lock horns with England, as I had said. Finland welcomes the Republic of Ireland. For France, they are having an easy fix-up against Israel. They are traveling away. Meanwhile, the biggest game on Thursday shall be between Italy and Belgium. For Kazakhstan, they will lock horns with Austria. Norway is set to say hi to that Slovenia, with Latvia or Latvia playing in North Macedonia. And the last game set to be played on Thursday in UEFA Nations League shall actually witness the clash between Armenia and Faroe Islands. That means this coming weekend, no English Premier League, no Spanish Primera Division, no French League One, no StarTimes Uganda Premier League, including Bet Power FIFA Big League. That means games shall commence till the weekend of next week. Let's close the chapter there, and I am off to the studio. I can confirm to you, independence, Uganda is celebrating independence tomorrow. Have the best of it. Enjoy it responsibly.